Hi guys, it's me, Ambrosia, and I would like to talk to you about controlling the mouth. So, the last devotional I done, I know I talked about the heart, and I know the two kind of go right hand in hand, but it's really what God is dealing with me about right now, this season in my life. So, I would like to start with the verse Matthew 12 and 36. It says, "But I say unto you, that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment." So I looked up some commentaries for the word idle, and one commentator said that the word idle means useless and purposeless. And another commentator said that the word idle is useless, unprofitable conversation, light, vain, trifling expressions. And I kind of felt like trifling was a little bit harsh of a word to use. But after I thought about it, I was like, well, that's exactly what it is. When we say things that we shouldn't have to say, that we shouldn't be saying, it's light, vain, trifling expressions. It's light, vain, trifling conversations. They're useless conversations, purposeless conversation. If it's not edifying somebody and building someone up, then what is the point of this conversation? It's a trifling conversation. Um, so not everybody knows, but people that are very close to me know I have a very, very smart mouth. And over the years, it's something that I've constantly worked on, and I still have more work to do in that area. But I've made progress over the years. But I remember being in school, and my mom would go to parent-teacher conferences, and the teachers would be like, "Ambrosia's a great student." I was pretty much a straight A student. Academically, I was pretty much always the top of my class. She's a great student. She's a great helper. She's kind. She's caring. She's compassionate. She'll give someone the shirt off of her back, but she has a smart mouth. So, as a young kid, it's something that my mom constantly worked with me on. She's constantly having conversations, constantly talking to me about it, constantly telling me why it's not okay, why it's not cute, and why I need to change it. And even as an adult, it's something that I'm constantly working on. I'm more apt now to realize that I got smart with somebody and go back and apologize to the person. So I've made progress, but it's still progress that I can make. And everybody that knows my daughter knows that if Carly did not take anything else after Ambrosia, she definitely took Ambrosia mouth. She has a smart mouth. She got it from me. And it doesn't excuse it because she got it from me, but it's conversations that I'm constantly having with her also. I remember when she was in first grade. She had just turned 6 years old. It was around Christmas time. So her birthday is October 27th. This is the beginning of December that this happened. And she's always been a year behind the rest of the kids in her class. So she had just turned 6 and they were all 7 or turning 7 within like the next couple months. So the teacher called me and was like, "Miss Sutton," my last name was Sutton then, "I need you to have a conversation with Carly tonight." And I'm like, "Well, what did she do?" Because Carly was like me. She was always a really good student. "So what did Carly do?" And she was like, "Well, the kids were talking about Santa Claus today." And she looked at them and told them, "You guys are stupid. There's no such thing as Santa Claus." And the way that I'm moving my neck, I know my daughter well enough to know that she was moving her neck like that, telling them that. So when she got home, we had to have the conversation, and I had to start explaining to her how if the conversation is not building someone else up, then you don't need to have the conversation. And I remember at 6 years old, me quoting to her Proverbs 18:21, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." And I remember having to explain to her that when you speak words to somebody, you're either speaking death to them or you're speaking life to them. You have to choose which one you're going to speak. Are you going to say words that tear someone down, or are you going to say words that build someone up? And when you're having this conversation about Santa Claus, you're tearing them down. Even though that's what you believe, you can't, there's a nice way to say it. And those are conversations that I've had to have with Carly from an early age. This goes back to the age-old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. I feel like as women, sometimes we say things not purposely, but it still comes across as not nice. And I feel like that's something that we all need to work on. We all need to make sure we're constantly having conversations that build someone up, because the conversations that we have that are tearing people down, we're going to have to give account for those on the day of judgment. And just think, we never want anyone to say that I didn't come to Jesus or I left Jesus because you had a conversation that tore me down. Ephesians 4 verse 29 says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So basically, again, if your conversation is not ministering grace, your conversation does not need to be had. When you look up corrupt in that sentence, it means rotten or foul, which could cause something to be rotten. So I really just would like to encourage you to watch what you're saying. Make sure your conversation is building someone up. And if it's not building someone up, make sure it's a conversation that you're not having. And I would like to leave you with Psalms 141 verse 3. And I feel like this should be all of our prayer. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. So God, just help me with my mouth. Guard my mouth, guard my lips. Keep them. Make sure that they're always saying something edifying for someone else.